What are these 7 layers of the OSI model? ISO OSI model. So there are 7 layers. There is one more counterpart which is widely used, and that is called TCP/IP protocol stack or TCP/IP model. We have 5 actually layers of TCP/IP. Earlier it was 4. So these 7 layers of these layer are application, presentation, session, transport, network, data link, and physical. You can remember it by APST and DP. APST and DP. So the first one is the application layer. This is the, please remember, these layers are not actual layers. These are conceptual. This is not actual layers. The only thing is that the protocols, the services, the rules, everyone, you are staying somewhere else, I am staying somewhere else across the globe. We need to follow these rules. And the network connections, network devices, all the network topologies, they have to follow these rules. Then only there will be proper communication. So application is the end user layer. That is, you are interacting with your system in order to use the networking services. So for that you need certain protocols. That is, whatever service you use on the background, certain protocols are there that are going to fulfill it. That is, services based on this protocol. For example, you are accessing web page, you are using HTTP. Then FileZilla, you are using FTP. Now you are using DNS. That is, you are typing, say, www.google.com. Nobody knows google.com. Only DNS, that is, the IP address of google.com is known to the computer, because computer doesn't understand the names. It just understands the number. That is the binary number, that is the bytes, bits. So DNS will convert this google.com into the actual IP address, and this is what is being given to the layers below it. Then we have, so you have started the work. Now bits and bytes are being sent to the presentation layer. Now this is a syntax layer. You might have heard about the SSL, SSH, IMATP, FTP. MPEG and JPEG are the most widely used video and the picture formats. So how the data will look, this is the presentation layer. And whenever some communication happens, there is a session. There is after some time some session will end. So synchronization and sending to port, that is the APIs, the sockets and the WinSock, all is done here in the session part of this 7-layer protocol stack. Then we have the transport. Transport layer is very important because here the end-to-end communication take place. That is, you have opened a web page. Now this is a process. Now this web page would be coming from some server. Okay, that is coming from server. So the server port will be 80. So you will give at your system you will give IP and the port. That is, TCP and UDP will take over. TCP is transmission control protocol. It is a reliable connection oriented protocol. UDP is non-reliable connection-less protocol. That is, if you are sending email, if you are sending a file, you must use TCP. If you are doing the audio video work, then you can use the UDP. So from computer to computer, host to host, it is okay. That is work of the network layer. But from the host, that is the computer, to actual service, that is the work of the transport layer. Now the network layer. Now the TCP segment and the user datagram protocol, the datagrams will come to network, and now network will convert them into packets, and using the internet protocol, and we have ICMPs and IPsec, IGMP, it will send it to the network. That is, actual fragmentation and all those things will happen here. So network is the actual, all the routers or etc. work here, and the packets will be, we always call it as IP datagram. That is the packet. Now coming to the data link layer. Here these packets will be converted into frames. Now this Ethernet, PPP, switch, bridge, all these devices, they work here in the data link layer. So this is the penultimate layer, because the physical layer is the actual layer where the bits will be transferred. So coaxial cable, fiber, wireless, hubs, repeaters, all are there in the physical. Actual bit transfer is taking place at the physical layer. So when you start working, you are interacting with the application layer, or you are working on application layer, and then the series of working will be done by these layers, and it will be sent, and this will be received by physical layer of another system, and it comes to application layer.